a place where you say people come from far, far, far away to find their dreams, chasing down these meteors and comets called dreams in the sky of life.
What's up, everybody? Damn, that's too far up. Why is it zoomed in so far? God damn. Step back a little. Shit. All right, you guys, what's good? It's your boy K-Dot, first Black Super Saiyan to revive on this planet. Back here with another, stream. It's meant to be a video, but I'm gonna just talk about it live. I messed up the recording. There was music playing in the background, and it fucked up with the audio of me talking, and it's kind of hard to get it out. Well, it's almost impossible to get it out unless I redo the video. And I could redo it, but usually I like to do videos in one take, get my first thoughts out. If it's something really, really important, I might just record it again or just stream it. But I'm going to stream it instead, give it to you guys live, so I can just hear my thoughts live about what I think. So, this is going to be one topic. This is going to be very short, just in response to a couple of tweets, right? And I know this is an old topic. It's an old topic, but it's in general because it's still happening today. I mean, it's happening in a lot of comic book media, whether it be live action TV shows, movies, and stuff. It's still happening. It just depends on the directors and stuff, but it's still happening. Now, I understand when people want to adapt some stuff, they want to do their own thing. They want to do something different, which is fine. You kind of should. You're adapting media. You can't copy it, but you can. You can copy it if you want, but you can copy it if you want, which I would probably prefer, because hey, if you adapted a complete comic straight from the comic to the movie, I'll watch that shit. Even if I know how it's on the end, I don't care. I'm seeing a story brought to life on the big screen, and visually I'm seeing it move, right? First I was looking through pictures. Now I'm watching this shit move with real people acting in these roles, playing as these characters, doing the story that I just read from this book. Now, a lot of people, when the Titan show came out, right? Man, I remember I did a video when they showed the first look at Starfire. And man, if y'all seen my video, I was disappointed like a motherfucker. Disappointed. And when they dropped the trailer and showed the Beast Boy, oh my gosh, my disappointments raised even higher. I was flabbergasted. I was pissed because of some mediocre bullshit. And it's not because the actor is black, right? Now, I remember when this came out, a lot of people was attacking this actor because he was black, right? And those are idiots, right? Those are idiots attacking this actor because she's an African American, attacking her because she's black. These are just idiots. Those idiots attacking her because she's black at the time it came out, right? And I wasn't attacking her because she's black. I'm black too. I wasn't attacking her because she's black. I wasn't even attacking her. More so, I was pissed off at the producers of this show, the design team, costume design team, the people that, getting to actually put on the prosthetics and stuff, either paint the actors, do the, do all the makeup and shit. I was more pissed off at them, and even the writers, whoever okayed for Starfire to just be this basic is the one I have an issue with. Anna Diop is just doing her job, right? She's just doing her job. Even, she did the best she can. She looks good. She's a beautiful, beautiful black woman. Beautiful black woman. But there's people who play blind on purpose and look at this and say, yo, this is Starfire. That is not fucking Starfire. This is Starfire right here, right? If I went to a random person on the street, what's up, A-Rod? If I went to a random person on the street and told them this was Starfire, they would look at me like I'm fucking crazy. They're like, to Starfire from Teen Titans? Well, I mean, they'll probably know Teen Titans. They probably didn't read the comics, so they'll probably know Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go. And if I told them this was Starfire, them niggas would call me crazy as shit. Like, nah, this is Starfire, bruh. They're looking like I'm crazy because they wouldn't recognize this. Now, I'm not saying Anna Diop cannot play Starfire. I think she could play Starfire. She looks beautiful. But the people that was making the show didn't want to put in the extra effort to make her look like the character. And it's not just her. It's also Beast Boy too. And I say Beast Boy probably got done worse when it comes to design, the way you depict his animal transformations. Bruh, this nigga Beast Boy, 99% of this show turned into a fucking tiger. He turned into a snake in one season, and he turned into a fucking bat. That nigga, that's 3 fucking animals in 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons. However many seasons they got. I think it's 4 right now. 4 fucking seasons. And this nigga turned into a lion, a tiger, a lion. No, we turned into a tiger, a bat, and a snake. I think it was a snake, if I remember. Could be wrong, but I think it was a snake. This nigga turned into a total of 3 fucking animals. He can turn to the whole animal fucking kingdom. And this nigga turned into 3 fucking animals. And on top of that, he looks shit. He looks shit. Right? Now, this is the thing. What's up, A-Rog and D-Real? Now, this thing, right? Warner Brothers, and I noticed this for a while, and especially with the CW, like, these motherfuckers got money. And I think when you have superhero products, you need to put more money into it. I'm sorry, but you need to put more money into it. You need to bring this shit to life. This isn't a CSI show. This isn't some drama. These are superheroes. They got powers, outlandish abilities. You need to put money into this stuff. Either do lower episodes, do less episodes so you can stretch your budget to all them episodes, or do not do it all. Or hey, do a movie instead where you can actually put a gang of money into it, where you can do prosthetics, make them look like the characters. Because instead of I'd rather have something that's done excellent instead of some half-assed take on it. And look, let's go to fucking Marvel. Let's jump off of DC. Let's go to Marvel. Look at what they did to fucking Gore the God Butcher, bruh. They just made Christian Bale an engineer from fucking Prometheus. Voldemort. Not saying Voldemort and the engineer from Prometheus do not look unique in a sense, but compared to what Gore looks like in his comic, this is a basic ass fucking design. Basic as shit. And to say that they can't do it, I mean, look, I'm gonna point you guys to a Star Wars show where they brought Cad Bane to life. Cad Bane. I get it, bigger budget, all that. But it proves that this stuff can be done, especially in this day and age, right? This isn't the 50s, this isn't the 60s when cinema was like limited. There's not a lot you can do back in the day. But now, bro, we're bringing Thanos to life. We literally brought the Transformers to life. In 2009, James Cameron gave us Avatar with the amazing special effects. Like, we can do this stuff. It's just that these companies choose not to do it. They want to take the shortcuts. They want to take the shortcuts and be cheap about it and, not have to spend as much. They want to save money. I understand it. But with this superhero stuff, even the sci-fi stuff, you need to flex that budget. You need to go big. You need to go big or go home. Like, no mediocre shit. I don't want no mediocre. I need something excellent. Right? And that's why someday I hope we get a Titans movie with David Zazav's new 10-year plan for DC, where we can get a black actor playing Starfire, and she looks like Starfire, right? And a deal, it's no issue with her being black. That is far from the issue. I don't care if she was Asian, white, green, orange, whatever. I want you to look like the character. I need these studios to give us these characters, not half-assed versions of these characters. It's not her fault. Blame the producers, the people working on the show for saying, hey, let's not put money into it. We need to stop settling. What's up, Arkham? We need to stop settling for mediocre stuff because they're going to keep putting out mediocre shit. For example, right? There's a recast of Child of Movement, right? And I'm not trying to compare it in the sense of this, but what I'm trying to compare it is that we're demanding for something, right? We
Yeah.
may not get it, but if you don't fight for something and don't ask for better, you're not going to get better. If you just settle with it and go like, well, whatever, you're not going to make any advancements. I'm not saying you need to be a person who needs who's needy and ask for everything all the time. Like, give me this, give me that, give me this. No, but if you're asking to do one simple thing, and that's make a character look like the character from the pages,
Yeah.
that's it. They could have done other, man. They could have said Starfire's from Mars. I wouldn't even be mad. At least make her,
What?
at least make her look like the character. You know, at least
Like,
give me something. Do
here's
something.
the thing.
You can do your slight tweaks. It, like with all these adaptations, they do slight tweaks. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
But they still try to stay true to the character. But at least do one thing. Give me the character from the pages. Like, give me that.
With Starfire, I would say it's a TV budget. That's the tricky thing. It's like, yes, I don't like what they did with Starfire, but the show's gonna get canceled anyway, and we're gonna probably have a live action like Teen Titans thing far down the road in the DCU. Like, I'm not saying what they did is.
I mean, she might get recasted. She's kind of
no. I'm saying the character itself will probably.
Yeah, I know.
But I totally agree. Like, I don't like the idea that what they did with Starfire and stuff like that. Like, her suit is cool, I guess, in season 4. Like, but like, I think they could have just did like, I don't know, CGI or something like that. Like, but I
well,
guess.
And look, I'm glad you brought the TV budget, right? And this is my thing, right? In this day and age, they don't want to put all that money into it.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to spend too much and they don't want to spend too little, but they still want to save money. So they want to, you know, like I said, Warner Brothers could have easily Warner Brothers could have easily been ahead of the curve, especially with the CW superhero shows, and was giving them like the budgets we see for the MCU shows. They could have been way ahead of the curve, but Warner Brothers wasn't thinking. Just like how we could have got a Justice League movie from Warner Brothers before, but they opted to go to Batman Begins and stick with the Nolan trilogy. We could have got a Justice League movie back in the early 2000s, which we should have got. But Warner Brothers freaking did not take the opportunity. We could have literally got that. But even though we got a great Nolan trilogy, amazing. Nolan trilogy, amazing. Right? But shit, I would have definitely sacrificed that for a Justice League movie. They'll say Warner Brothers, they could have been ahead of the curve. While yes, they have some good TV shows, you know, Arrow and stuff. Some seasons were a little rocky. Flash, some good season stuff, a little bit rocky. Overall, you know, you can say it's good. Legends of Tomorrow, man. But they could have put more money into this stuff. They could have. They have the money. They're not broke. They're not like, what's a broke ass company? Paramount got money. Universal got money. They're not Discovery. They're not Discovery. I mean, Discovery would have if Discovery had DC, they would have definitely gave us some cheap ass TV shows. You know what Davis has left.
Like, here's the thing, like with the Justice League thing, like it goes 50-50 because like Nolan also saved the reputation of Batman. So like kind of like,
I say it did a good thing for Batman, which it did. You know, you had to have something like the Nolan trilogy after you got stuck with Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. You had to bring Batman back to glory in live action. He was good in the comics, but you had to bring him back to glory and make people go like, "Yo, Batman's tight again in live action."
And I'm not sure. Like, I know they were,
but they only got Batman right. They fucked up Green Lantern and Superman in that same period of time. You know what I mean? Like that was.
Well, because
I would have liked to see. I think that George Miller Justice League movie would have been quite dope. To be fair, I really do.
They did, dude.
However,
the concept of that, the concepts of what they would have looked like, amazing.
Yeah,
It looked
it
weird.
looks cool. Like,
It
but like,
looked really creative.
I think it would have been very cool. But I think at the same time, like, you can't do Army Hammer now because he's blacklisted from Hollywood.
He's out here eating
Another
people.
one who's blacklisted. Like, anyway, I'm not gonna go into that. Like,
Yeah,
I
like,
mean, Nerd Man, he's a possible cannibal. He's eating people.
yeah, hell no. Like,
and shit. This girl like put up a bunch of texts of his online and only showed her his side of the conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, like, I don't want to be
It could be,
anywhere. Like,
Nerd Man. It could be a case of the. Have you seen The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
It could be a case of. No, I'm not even going. Y'all remember? Have you guys seen the Marvel Zombies comic with the Marvel Zombies comic? Have you all read it?
Yeah.
Remember when Black Panther was literally Hank Pym's food? He was like cutting off his legs slowly and keeping them. Army Hammer might be doing that, man. You know, he's probably got people locked up inside a basement, slowly cutting away at their hands and limbs.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
Do you hear he's working at like some resort now? Like,
yeah, I
handing
heard
out
that.
like cocktails or some shit.
Like, if I have to be honest, I would not. I would not want to be anywhere near a guy that thinks of eating people. Hell no! Like
you might eat me.
Like if you're working for someone that they think of eating people, no, like no.
Real quick.
Do you honestly think it's okay? Because obviously they accused him of R-ing them as well, even though he was going out, he was in a relationship with them. But all they have is anything. I don't even know if they've gone after him in a criminal case, but they just have a bunch of texts. That's it. And I'm just like, well, you know, if you get into some kind of kinky type of relation. Anyway, I'm not doing this because I've got a headache from Ezra Miller already, so I'm not going to try and say another controversial figure. But I just don't get it. I like a lot of these people being canceled.
With Army Hammer,
people just accept it. It's like without, you know, because it will be you next.
With Army Hammer, I know they're doing like I think a documentary on him and stuff like that on Discovery Plus, I think is talking about like I think the truth behind like Army Hammer and stuff like that, like the real person, like what.
But see, I think I still think it's weird to do that, and it's not even like we don't know if it's true if he is a cannibal. I understand if like that was true.
I don't know if he is.
With like the actual proof, they went to court and dealt with it in armies in jail or whatever, and they did a documentary about it. Makes sense because you have. It seems like a documentary to like, you know, try to prove a case when you can take that to court. You know, you take that to court and deal with that there and talk about it after.
They're losing court.
The only thing I would say is like it would just make I guess Army Hammer's image even worse. Like it would probably make his image even worse with this documentary. That's all.
It's definitely gonna make his image worse. It's gonna put a stain on him, even though people are going to.
He might get fired by the area that he works when this comes out.
Right, and even though people are about to judge him, and there's no true confirmation, maybe they reveal something in the documentary that has
maybe in the documentary
proof. Maybe they have like hard proof in it. And they're just going like, let's expose this dude. Like, let's expose him on this documentary.
And to be fair to the women, if I was in their situation, I mean, I'll do the exact same fucking thing. Like, if some famous person was sending me like wild texts and shit like that, that's on them. You know what I mean? You must be smart enough to know you don't send wild texts to people when you're famous if you want to, you know, continue.
People will. You're famous. People are gonna expose you. Like they're gonna use it for clout. They're gonna use it for fame. But like, oh my gosh,
they're gonna use it for money. Get cash.
Right. Like, let's say, for example, Drake sent a picture of his butt or something to a girl. She's gonna put it on the internet. She's gonna be like, oh my god, Drake just sent me this, and then she's gonna go like, wow, I felt like he harassed me. I'm not saying she will.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
to get
Exactly.
something
And
out
the
of it.
thing is, she would have been like, "Oh, send me a picture of your ass," and then he does it, and then she'll just be like, "Oh, I'll just redact that bit. So I'll put a black over what I said and just show you the butt thing." That's basically
It say
that's
Drake
basically how they
sent
do it. That's how
me.
they. It's
You know,
unbelievable, man.
that's why you have to be careful with what you send over the web, especially if it's private DMs. Nothing is truly private. You know, stuff is public. Even though
That's why I said.
Go ahead.
Go. No, I was going to say the only thing I was going to say. That's why I said if I was famous when I was 20, I'll be fucked. Like, because I was very easy to not manipulate, but like, do you know what I mean? I just didn't know enough about relations between women and men and whatever to know like, oh, I could get really, there are crazy girls out there basically. That's what I wasn't aware of, like, essentially. And you can
Like,
anyway.
But real quick, Arkham, you go. I wanted to get Nerdman's opinion on this, like get it back to the topic. I don't know how much he was watching, but I wanted to get back to it. But go ahead and say what you're gonna say, Arkham.
Now, with I think we're talking about Starfire and stuff like that.
Yeah, so let me show it again, right? So the whole reason I'm doing this, it was supposed to be a video. Audio got messed up, but the reason I'm talking about this is because I think in general, for comic book stuff, comic book movies, right? And this isn't talking about just the character, how they're depicted writing wise, just visually, right? I understand writing, you're going to change a lot, but can you at least give us the characters we see on the page? I already know like, writing stuff, you're going to change a lot. You're going to tweak some stuff. You got to do your own new thing, but just give us the characters we want to see.
Right? Oh, I saw your tweet about this and stuff like that.
Because look, and when
you can't do that on film though these days, bro. Come on.
And like, look at that. When it first came out, right? I didn't like that people was bashing this actor because she was black. Because her being black did not matter. Because to play Starfire, it doesn't matter if you're black. Literally, Zoe Saldana plays Gamora, and Gamora's green. It doesn't matter if Zoe Saldana's Hispanic.
Yeah, you have a ton of makeup and stuff like that.
She's playing another character, but she's a black actor representing this character and bringing it to life.
Sure,
but she's black. But Starfire, this isn't Starfire, right? That's my thing. This isn't Starfire. Because if I went to a random person on the street and said this is Starfire, they would call me crazy.
They would say, "Who the fuck is Starfire?"
No, people know Star. People know Star.
No, people don't, bro. I don't know where you live. No one knows who Starfire is.
People have seen the Teen Titans show. That's how people would know Starfire. I'm not saying from the comics, but from the show, yes.
No, in general.
So like, if you go on the street and ask, like, say, like, a young person, like, in their mid-20s, ask them, do you know who Starfire is? They're probably not gonna know because they weren't probably born in that time or watched any no shows. Like,
but they probably more than likely know about Teen Titans Go. Because we can't forget, it's not the comic books that reach the mass people. It's the TV shows and movies.
What happens if they didn't watch the TV show?
Then if they didn't watch it, then they didn't. If they didn't watch it, they didn't watch it.
TV show.
If they didn't watch
I'm talking about like the cartoons and stuff like that. I'm saying, what happens if a person hasn't grown up on DC or Marvel TV shows and hasn't watched any cartoons?
They're not going to know what this is in general.
That's what I'm saying. Not everyone on Earth is going to know Starfire. Who Starfire
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying everyone on Earth is. But I guarantee you, I can walk up to somebody on the street. I can at least find one person if I told them, do you know who Starfire is from the Teen Titans show or Teen Titans Go? I'm going to find someone that's going to say that. If I went up to somebody on the street and said, do you know who Starfire is from the Titans comics? Probably not a lot of people going to know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Maybe some old heads, but modern day people, no.
Yeah, no.
I'm not saying there is some people today who have read some Titans comics, but more people watch media than read it.
Yeah, but I do agree, like, with the Starfire thing. Like they could have done it like I think like they could have done it like Mandalorian, or like when you have like Gamora, they could have done makeup and everything like that.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up Ahsoka Tano as a prime example, right?
Swear to God.
What's up, nerd man? What up?
I borrowed my girlfriend my new iPhone to take to Germany to like, because she wanted to like use it for pictures and stuff, and she's just texted me going, hi darling, could you check if the iPhone was left at home? I think I forgot to take it. I swear to God, she's lost my phone, man. She's lost my phone.
Oh my God. Well, you got a backup, right? You got your backup.
I don't got a backup. That's an expensive phone. She's buying it.
I
back.
thought you had two.
I'm telling you.
I thought you had
No,
two.
I have my normal phone, like which I don't like. I don't like smartphones, so I don't use. So
we all know your man. You're gonna buy her new one.
I'm not buying her shit. She better buy it.
Hey, get her a BlackBerry phone. Get her a BlackBerry.
No, but it was just like because she likes to take pictures with it, and actually, the camera's pretty good, and I was like, yeah, go ahead, take pictures, in Germany, whatever, it'll be cool. She's lost the phone because I remember seeing her take it as well. Oh, that's all my pictures. Anyway, sorry guys, sorry.
She can just find my iPhone and stuff like that. Then you could locate your phone. If she has iPhone.
That's true. I don't know if we set that up though on it.
I do that every time because it's hard to keep track of my phone because I'm so busy and I have a lot of stuff on my mind, and sometimes you misplace your phone. So usually I find my iPhone and I find it and it's right next to me the whole time.
No worries. Sorry, continue with your thing, man. I'm sorry. I just literally just.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
And I was like, that's a lot of money. Anyway, go.
And see, look, stuff can be done nowadays. A lot of stuff. I mean, we seen the Transformers brought to life. We seen the freaking Ninja Turtles brought to life. Thanos, all these things, right? The Hulk. While those are more visual effects, but even practically, look at the recent Prey movie. That whole suit, all practical.
But this looks bad. Yeah. Oh, the Predator in that looked cool, but this suit doesn't look good. You think this looks good?
Yeah, she looks like Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, but maybe Ahsoka Tano shouldn't come to real life then. She looks kind of weird, doesn't she? Is that a hat?
No, she looks like that's how Ahsoka looks.
But
is that her hair or a hat?
It's some tantra. They're part of her body.
Yeah,
that does not look like part of her body, bro.
I think if this is the same thing with Beast Boy and stuff like that.
Let's bring up Beast Boy. He's the I would say Beast Boy got done worse than Starfire.
Yeah, I would say
visuals and power set. He got done.
No, the power set is bullshit.
He was only a tiger, then a bat, I think.
He turned into a tiger, snake, and bat for a total of 4 seasons. You have a character who can turn into the animal kingdom.
Yeah,
he turns into dinosaurs. And this is why I say, right? I would have rather took a Titans movie instead of a TV show because I always had the feeling that they would have fucked up like this anyways. I always have the strange feeling that they would fuck it up anyways because they're not going to put the money into it. Hopefully now with David Zaslav, right? If he wants
David Zaslav knows what it's about.
Well, I'm hoping if he wants to push to quality, and I'm hoping when he says he wants to push quality, especially with the TV shows and movies, that we're gonna get more accurate visual depictions of these characters, right? I'm not totally writing wise. I'm not talking about writing, just visually. I want the
visually with the CGI.
I think he's gonna go. I think he's gonna go cheap with a couple of them at first, but not so cheap that it's like I think it will be with
Like CW
characters where you
cheap.
can kind of get away with not CW cheap. I mean, if he makes a Superman movie, I think he's going to try and do it on the cheaper side.
It
But I
depends.
think
Like
Superman
here's
can be done with a good movie budget. You don't need like 200 million for us, 250
Yeah, you
million,
don't.
Yeah,
like
they did this.
for
Shazam was
like Zack
100 to
Snyder did.
150.
Like, yeah, you could almost do an indie style. Like, think about what was that movie called that Max Landis did? It's called like where it's these four guys. I think it was the first movie that Michael B. Jordan was in, where they had the camera and
and they also did Raven Dirty.
Oh, Chronicle.
Chronicle, right?
Yeah,
Like even that, like a little bit higher
there
than
was some
that. And you
quality
could
to
do
that.
like
Like it was quality there.
yeah, you could do a Superman movie like that, like with that kind of style where it's all in like kind of real and whatever, but at the same time, it looks nice. You know what I'm saying?
I think
I think you could go on the cheap side with that, but when it comes to Green Lantern, I don't think you could go on so much on the cheap side.
It has
like
like
Green Lantern, you gotta go big because you're taking a lore where you're going to different galaxies. You know, you're dealing with different.
do you know why the
Red
reason?
Lanterns, Manhunters. You got to go really big with that. You got to put a fat budget into that.
Yeah, do you know why the reason why the TV show was never canceled? It's because he wants to put the TV show in the DC extended universe, and that
it was always in the DC extended universe, but they're
Like-
now about to rework it.
No,
They're about
but
to
he-
work
I
for
think he
whatever
wants
new vision they
he
doing.
wants to introduce the character in a like season 1 thing, and then
Yeah.
put it in the movies when it
I
goes
do
to
think
to Howard Jordan and Jon Stewart. I think that's why they're keeping them out of the show, and then it's going to lead up to when Hal Jordan and whatever
it's gonna lead up into their own movie, and and I know this project, like the Green Lantern, has like a big budget. Like it has a huge budget. That then all the shows
Lanterns in this too.
Yeah, and it has to have a big budget. It has to. And the same thing with like you had Starfire, you had Beast Boy. They I hated how they did Raven. Oh my god, I hated it.
I was kind of okay with Raven. I didn't like how young she was. She was like,
why does no one complain about Raven? Like she doesn't look anything like from the comic either. Like for the first 2 seasons,
and her powers, like her
powers. They always complain about the black chick. No one complains about fucking Raven like as hard as they do the black chick. Think about that. That's weird.
Yeah,
because she doesn't like literally Raven is white. Like what? Not when I say white, not like a white person. Like
she has that like pale gray. She has like gray skin.
But yeah, just to conclude, you guys are absolutely on the money. You cannot. I don't care if it's not a big enough brand in your mind. Don't do stuff like Titans in live action when you don't have the budget. If you're going to do a show like they were going to do, just tone down some of the stupid swearing that comes off edgelord anyway and make it an animated fucking show.
Yes.
The one thing I could give,
or what they could have done,
that Flash TV show, right, would have been so much better. And it would have been, because if it had got kind of successful on HBO Max, a Titan show, a Flash animated show, then you can use that to go, oh, see, people want Flash, let's do a Flash movie, let's do a Titans movie. That's how you got the Batman and X-Men movies. It was the cartoons, and everyone, it was like, oh, that cartoon's live, let's do
they could have did Teen Titans, like remember the New 52 animated movies. Remember Justice League versus Teen Titans. Like do some, like you don't have to make the Justice League versus Teen Titans, but look how they did the characters. Like they were from the comics and stuff like that. They could have done that. And like with this live action Titan show, I hated how like the powers with Raven aren't like the comics or like the animation and stuff like that. It's like what the hell is it? And I don't know why she
It
has.
was very down.
Why does she have like black eyes and everything like that? It's like what?
It was very downplayed because on my honest opinion, the only cool characters on that show when it came to like the action or like doing cool shit was Robin. Well, both the Robins. And their suits looked
because they
amazing.
didn't have any powers.
He was able to do them so well. Even
the
Deathstroke.
first episode was dope as well. The first episodes of Titans surprised me. It was actually pretty dope. And yeah, you're right. Like the Robins were good.
I would say
Starfire was the standout in episode 1 for me.
Yeah.
I thought she was so cool in that first episode, and then it just all went downhill.
I would say, like, out of all the negative, I would say one positive thing. They made amazing suits. They did make amazing suits. Like, look at the Robin suit. Like, it was pretty damn cool. Like, amazing.
I wish the Nightwing suit was a little less bulky, but it wasn't bad.
But I'm just saying, like, the suits were pretty damn good how they designed them.
Yeah.
That's the only positive thing I could say about the show, because I got very pissed off at I think it was season 4, where they shot and killed Dick Grayson and resurrected him. It's like,
that was funny. That was funny. I would laugh when I saw that.
Like, I was pissed. Like, I'm a big Nightwing. Like, I love Batman, but I really like Nightwing as well. And it really pissed me off as a Nightwing fan. It's like, you just really disrespected the character like this.
Can I ask, what do you like about? Do you read the comics of Nightwing or something?
Yeah, I do. I know the characters well.
What is so like everyone always goes on about Nightwing, like he's tight or something. I'm like, what's so tight about this guy? He's just
he let his own super team. He let his own super team have to stay. He stood on his own from Batman. He let his own team, the Titans.
Yeah,
he's the GOAT. The first sidekick. You gotta give him his respect.
I could give you some recommendations.
I like the Grand Family better, and I mean in the comics, not just like I'm not even.
Have you read some Nightwing comics?
No, I wouldn't waste my time with that shit. I'm not joking.
I could give you some recommendations.
On a serious note, what are the good graphic novels? Because I'm a graphic novel guy. I either that or collected stories.
For Nightwing, for Nightwing, this is very popular. Let me get it up. So,
I got one comic I can recommend: Nightwing versus Vigilante issue 1. That one's really good.
Yeah, that's very good. I think it's what's his name? Chuck Dixon, and then Chuck Dixon run. You have to read the Chuck Dixon run of Nightwing. That's where he's most popular for. A lot of those stories. So I recommend, like, it's on Amazon. You can search Chuck Dixon Nightwing run. Though that's like the most popular Nightwing stories. You also could, after you read that, you could get the New 52 and the Rebirth.
We'll go for an hour, guys.
But right now, like, my total recommendation, if you're getting into Nightwing, read the Chuck Dixon run.
Cool.
Is that when you had the suit with the big collar?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that suit's badass. And look, real quick, I just don't want to slander DC. We're not slandering DC. We're talking about.
No,
we have to bring up the Marvel too, because even Marvel does it. Look what they did to Gore the God Butcher, right? And I'm not finna front and say I read this run, but I can admit the comic design of Gore, pretty fucking badass. He looks out of this world. He looks unique. That's why in this comic world, I like characters like Starfire, Martian Manhunter, even Beast Boy, because on their own respective teams, compared to the other heroes that are human looking, they stand out. There's a diversity there. They're different. They don't look the same. Like, they visually stand out. Martian Manhunter is a Martian from Mars, and he's probably only visually outlandish looking thing on his own Justice League team.
Yeah, he can shapeshift. He can he can shapeshift. He has intangibility, like invisible and stuff like that.
He himself makes the world feel a lot bigger than just everyone looks human. It kind of gets old just seeing tired human looking design. When I saw Gore the God Butcher, I was like, this is so basic compared to what they could have gave us.
This is my theory, but the reason why he looked that way is because I think they just wanted him to look like Christian Bale, like not like the comic.
Tyga said he didn't want people comparing him to Voldemort, dude with no nose, Voldemort. He didn't want people comparing him to Voldemort, which was not a good reason to not do the comic design. And besides, look, I like Christian Bale, and I doubt Christian Bale would have said, I can't act in prosthetics. I mean, this dude is a dedicated actor. I mean, he got anorexic and very skinny for a role in the movie. Like he'll put himself through the ringer.
I just think Taika Waititi is just not a fit for comic book movies, to be honest.
I was just thinking that, dude. I swear to God, I was waiting.
I was watching this video.
No, he's not a fit for a character like Thor. He needs characters like
He's a good director.
He needs characters
he's
like
a good director, but he should be directing comedies, bro. He's a comedy guy. Like, it's that simple. He should be doing like indie comedies and shit like that. That's what he's good at.
I don't know why. Here's the thing. I don't know why Marvel got him, to be honest, because like I know I have some friends that like the movie. That's fine. They can like all they want, but like since you got Taika Waititi, like this version of Thor or the movies are very divisive. It's like half of people like it, half of people don't. Like it's more.
Well, I mean, Thor 4 is a bigger divide than Thor 3.
Yeah, I guess, but like, I'm worried about Thor.
There's a lot of people who don't like Thor Ragnarok as well, but it shocks me. Even when I think, okay, fine, I can get that you enjoy the movie or whatever, but when people put that shit in the top 10 MCU movies, it blows my mind, bro. It literally, they put it in top 5, bro. They put it in top comic book movies of all time. It's shocking, bro. It's shocking.
Yeah, I can't do that.
It's a complete molestation of both characters, Hulk and Thor. But at the same time, I don't care about Thor. So
like Thor's a pretty cool character, like Chris Hemsworth and stuff like that. But I feel like Love and Thunder is like, I wouldn't call it a failure because it still made its money, but like I would say it's not as great as like what was it? Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was like very good. You had more positivity with that movie than Thor Love and Thunder. What was that? What was before what was it? Multiverse of Madness. What was another movie in Phase 4? Oh, No Helm. Yeah, that was very positive. Like, you had a lot of positivities with certain movies in Phase 4, but when you got to Thor 4, everything fell flat.
Because this is the thing, right? Look, Taika's taking something, right? While you may like it the first time, you have to think in the long run, is it good? Because what Taika Waititi did in Thor 4 was he took all the development of Thor through all 10 years of the MCU and regressed him back to what he was before his dad took away his hammer.
Yeah.
He's literally the same as he was before the hammer. He's a douchebag. He's an asshole. He literally destroyed a people's religious temple and didn't even care about it. He said, hurrah, another Thor adventure. Like, dude, you're a fucking douchebag. Your dad would take away your hammer again for what you're doing. And we literally,
how is he worthy? I've never understood. This is the thing. I need to read the Thor comics or something like that because I'm getting it just through media.
Yeah.
Even in the Bill Bixby Hulk movie that I saw a long time ago, I don't think they had the worthy thing in that where you have to be worthy to hold the hammer. But I know that Hulk couldn't pick up the hammer.
Wasn't he on Earth doing like deeds to get into
to get back to Valhalla?
But he was worthy. Yeah, he had his hammer. He was worthy. He was doing deeds to get back into
But
Asgard.
right now he has Stormbreaker.
but I've never understood, just watching from the films and the cartoons, why Thor is worthy. Because any other person who can pick it up is like Captain America or Superman or Wonder Woman. Those are the people who, in the comics, like they did it in crossovers, like when DC and Marvel crossed over, Wonder Woman was able to pick it up, Superman's able to pick it up. Why the fuck is Thor worthy? He's just some arrogant god, isn't he? I don't get his worthiness. It really, I didn't get what's his name, the robot as well. What's that? Vision.
Well,
I didn't get
the
why
biggest,
he
all
was
right,
worthy
so
either.
let's go back to Thor 1, because the biggest thing I noticed, right, of where he was huge, he was lacking. And it goes back to Thor 4. He's careless. He doesn't think about other people. He doesn't even think about the bigger picture. When he went to go fight those frost giants, right, he literally started a war again, a potential war. It got stopped in the first movie, but he started a war. He didn't think about, how this is going to affect people. Should I even reignite this? Should I do something? But no, he just did it. And then his father scolds him for doing something very dumb. And he gets mad at his father for telling him the right thing that he should have done, not start any issues, because you're not thinking about the bigger picture. You're closed-minded.
Yeah, with the Thor character changing,
because in Thor 4, he's literally careless. I mean, shit. I'm not saying he can't do this, but he gave a bunch of kids powers to help him out, and he can. He's the god.
I didn't even know he could do that.
Yeah, like he gives a bunch of kids powers, but in Avengers Endgame, when everyone's there, you have some Wakandans that are just Wakandans. He couldn't just give everyone there some of his abilities.
I didn't like,
so they can have an extra power boost to fight.
I didn't like that idea of. Here's the thing for me: if it's called Thor, the focus should be Thor and stuff like that. I know everyone knows I hate the idea of having kids in movies.
I'm not getting tired of them. I'm getting tired of seeing mediocre ones, but I'm not tired of superhero movies. Nah, never.
Yeah, I'm not tired of superhero movies. And with the worthiness, I think like it was confirmed by the Russo brothers that like with Stormbreaker, you don't need any like worthiness or anything like that.
Yeah, there's no enchantment on Stormbreaker.
Yeah, so like he can do whatever he wants, but he can still have Stormbreaker. But like I don't know. It's just very weird. And that now Thor 5, you're gonna have was it Hercules or something like that?
Yes. They might if Taika Waititi's directing, they might butcher Hercules too.
He can
and look, look. Hey, real quick, I'll mention another MCU design. Let's bash the MCU some more. While I like this movie, I like it. It's not all that great, but I like this movie. Even Nerdman likes it. Taskmaster from.
Oh God.
While some of the powers was accurate to an extent, you literally, and I think it was a China thing because did Black Widow show in China? Because I think in China they don't like
that does not look anything like Taskmaster.
Well, and look, I like this movie, and I wanted them to give us Taskmaster. Like they gave us a Power Ranger. He looks like a Power Ranger. Not saying he looks bad. This MC version looks bad, but compared to what we could have got, come on.
Yeah.
What up, Tony?
And the Avengers. The funny thing is that I know everyone hates that Avengers game, but we got, and they still gave us a very good design of Taskmaster, what he looks like. But in the movies, you can't get what the correct interpretation of Taskmaster.
Dude, I get it. It wasn't Taskmaster, and
And I'm just talking from.
I know the design itself didn't look. I don't think it was bad though. I just don't think it looked like the cartoon. Like the design wasn't terrible; it just didn't look like the cartoon.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
not-
a bad design. It's not bad. It's not.
Yeah.
If
Yeah, it's not bad.
if this was the first time Taskmaster was created in anything, let's say this is the first time you've seen Taskmaster, and this this probably be cool, and it probably adapted to comics later. You get the same exact design, but
But it's not like it was Taskmaster at all, because it was like, I think people said,
yeah, it was a totally different take on Taskmaster.
Yeah.
That was not Taskmaster. Totally different take. They kind of got the powers right, the mimicry, but they turned it into Taskmaster needs technology to mimic people's abilities,
I think
which is
so.
not accurate, but it's whatever. Like I said, the movie was still good. Black Widow, I still liked it. I don't go goo goo gaga over it. I'm like, oh my gosh, but I still liked the movie. I thought it was good.
It was okay. Like, I'm always like, I'm not gonna like complain about all the time, but I just think they didn't do Taskmaster right. Like, I like Taskmaster. Like, you go against him in the Marvel Spider-Man game and stuff like that. The fight scenes are all awesome in that and stuff like that. I think it would have been.
Oh, he's excited. Taskmaster fucking dick in that game. He's an asshole. He's
Yeah, it is.
I'm better than you. Like,
But
dude,
he looked like
I have no powers.
Taskmaster. But I hope we do see down the line of maybe the
I'll watch
correct
it next time.
interpretation of Taskmaster, because I know a lot of
I
people.
mean, I don't think I'll be honest. I don't think we will. Look, depending how long the MCU is gonna go, I don't know how long it's going to last. They might go to phase 20. Who knows? They're
Phase
gonna
20.
stretch this as long as they can. It's gonna be a while until we get a reboot where they do stuff differently, like a hard reboot where they want to start over and do something
You
different.
might not even have Kevin Feige by then. Like,
If Kevin Feige's gone, that's a good thing.
like phase 20. Like that's a lot of phases, and a lot of stories.
I'm not saying they're gonna go that far, but they could. They could go there.
Like,
They could go there.
Yeah, because like I feel like Endgame. This is just me. I feel like Endgame should have been the reboot and started a different way.
Yeah, they
because-
could have just ended it there. I would have been glad.
Yeah, because like the MCU
For other
doesn't,
reasons.
the MCU doesn't feel the same. Like for like phase 4, like it was. But
Dude,
doesn't
you now know how I felt since Iron Man 1.
Iron Man was good. I really
And I
liked
was
that.
like, yo, the MCU don't feel the same. Like ever since then, like after like when Thor came out, all right, I'll give them Avengers, but everything after Avengers, I was just like, yo, the MCU ain't hitting for me.
Well, because
Everyone was loving it, and I didn't understand it. I was like, it's all right. I'd go and watch a film. I'd be like, oh, that was all right.
What?
Fun way to spend, a couple of hours or whatever, and then I'd never watch the film again. I'd never even think about you have to understand, for me to watch a superhero movie and just feel like no inclination to watch it again is really fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Because I love fucking superhero movies, and I'd say 90% of MCU movies, I'm just like, yeah, I ain't gonna rewatch that.
Here's the thing with
Recently,
MCU.
Arkham, real quick. Let me.
Okay.
Recently, I have not seen Multiverse of Madness again. I only seen it once. No Way Home, I only seen it twice. Falcon and Winter Soldier, only watched it once. WandaVision, like anything in Phase 4, I only watched probably once or twice, and that's it. And I've not watched it recently. I go back to look at it. Might go look at fight scenes on YouTube and stuff. I haven't rewatched it, And it's not just it's not just MCU. Even there's some DC movies I don't rewatch because they're
I've rewatched nearly every good, everyone that people generally see as good DC movie. I've rewatched
same here.
quite.
Dark Knight,
Batman.
Watchmen, V for Vendetta.
Watchmen, V for Vendetta.
Superman 78.
I put on Batman Begins and Superman 1 every once in a while. Like Wonder Woman, I've watched when it came out quite a few times. Joker, I watched quite a few
Wonder Woman, I
times.
seen that I watched Wonder Woman 7 times.
The one thing that I like about DC is it's different. It's not like every movie's the same and stuff like that. I'm not saying every MCU movie's the same, but like it has a pattern. In the MCU, it does have that pattern of comedy-ness. Some is serious, but some are not. But like, you have a variety of movies with DC. So like the Batman, I don't think Let me use an example: the Batman, and the Joker. Those two movies. Do you ever think the MCU will do a dark movie like that? No.
Was it not even if it's dark, like a movie of that artistic like quality?
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't even think MCU fans like that. I don't think they warm to that when the director tries to do something different. I don't think they like it even. So
they don't. We saw how with Multiverse of Madness, Raimi tried to do something very, very different from the norm. Very different.
Yeah,
and like
especially visually. Yeah, you got creative. They didn't like that shit.
Yeah, like,
they need to.
Once you tried something different, they don't like it. Here's the thing with MCU fans: they ask for something different. I'm not looking this
right. They do.
MCU formula. I want something different. Then when you give them something different, they want to go back to the formula.
Yeah, like that's why I think even Black Panther might not be liked, and I'm getting pissed because the more I think about that Black Panther movie, the more I keep thinking, shit, they did Flashpoint before DC did, like with the Amazonians versus the Atlanteans, and you know, like when we do a proper Flashpoint movie, they're gonna go, oh yeah, the MCU did it first, and look at DC copying MCU, fucking bastards, man.
I mean, to be fair, I did not want to see Aquaman bashing out Wonder Woman's cheeks, to be fair. Would have been hot, but that would have been too much for my brain to handle.
Like, I don't think we were like with live action, it's all like adaptations and stuff like that. They'll grab some material from the comic books and make their own spin on it in live action. Like, with the war between the Amazons and the Atlanteans, I'm not sure if they were ever going to do that. Like the concept.
No, that was always just rumors.
No, they were.
With Flashpoint,
they were absolutely. They absolutely were. That was why Zack Snyder actually hired that guy, which I was like, why the fuck would you do an old Batman and get the guy who played comedian to do a cameo in the beginning of BVS just so he can be Batman's dad? You know, Dean Morgan. And I'm like, dude, that's perfect casting for Batman, dude. Why the fuck that? I would have wanted Jeffrey Dean Morgan to play Batman in Batman.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. He actually does look like I can envision him as Bruce Wayne Batman, like Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
He would have been awesome, dude. But then when they said, they wanted him to play Batman's dad, like Thomas Wayne, in Flashpoint, and I was like, yeah, that's cool and everything, but you know, Zack Snyder, just do the best thing in the first movie, because like in the end of the day, you can't be relied on to get to the places that you want to get to that are cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even understand what he was thinking, because I kept thinking like, you want to do Thomas Wayne, you want to do Flashpoint, and all your fans are going, look, Zack Snyder would have done Flashpoint, but you had a Batman you killed in the main universe. So why would Thomas Wayne have been different?
Yeah,
how would you have done it? Was Thomas Wayne going to be he doesn't kill? That's the difference. What was Thomas Wayne going to do?
That would be stupid, because like
he was going to kill much harder.
And I saw this fan art. You have Bruce Wayne, Ben Affleck, and just Jeffrey D. Morgan, talking to each other when they.
Are you talking about the one where Ben Affleck?
Batman, Bruce Wayne has a gun. facing at
Oh, and he told his dad, "Why did you leave me, Dad?" I was like, "Cause he got shot."
It's like
Nerman, let me find that. You need to see it. That shit is funny as hell.
like.
What were you gonna say, Arkham Gaming? I want to see it.
I do agree. Like
Love you.
with the DC Stan universe, you shouldn't have a Batman that's like so old, that's pretty old, that's like at the end of his rope. Like
Yeah,
I think,
but I'm saying, like, yeah, sure, you shouldn't do that. But if you are gonna do that, give me Jeffrey Dean Morgan, not fucking Ben Affleck. I don't care what anyone says. People can go on all they want about how Ben Affleck is the best Batman, blah 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 blah.
I don't believe that bullshit.
He is a good Batman. I'm not gonna lie, but nothing he did as Batman surprised me. None of his performance was like. When it was announced that he was going to play Batman, I was like, I envisioned the whole thing of how he'd do it, and that's exactly what he did.
The one thing that aggravates
And I
me
don't
is
like that. I don't like that. I like when I'm surprised a little bit. I like when I'm like, oh, I don't know how he's going to do it. I'm not quite sure how he's going to do it. I know it's going to be cool, but I'm not quite there with how he's going to perform it. And that's what, Robert Pattinson did. That's what Michael Keaton, that's what Bale did. All of them did that, where you kind of didn't know exactly how they do it, and that's what Jeffrey Dean Morgan would have done. Because I can't envision how Jeffrey Dean. I know it's going to be awesome, but I just don't know how he'd do it. You know what I'm saying? In fact, they should recast him as the new Batman in the DCU.
They're gonna reboot and have a new Batman anyway. But like, with the one thing that shocks me is like, I know a lot of people like Ben's Batman, but I don't. I think it's ridiculous that people say that he's basically like, the Batman animated series Batman. Like, no, they're not. Like just because he has a similar look, or just because he and confirmation he's like.
Let's say he's the Arkham Games
Batman animated series Batman had morals. He had morals. He had a code and everything.
He's not even the Arkham Games Batman. It's Arkham Games Batman's got a code, morals.
Yeah, he had code there too.
But I'm
saying,
when
like, it comes to fighting individuals, yeah,
that's what they're saying. They're all that's what they are. They're all. I think Snyder fans are a mix of New 52 fans and console game fans. Like guys who play like Injustice and stuff.
I love the comic books, but I can accept that the New 52 is not as great as Rebirth. Rebirth was very good.
I don't know. I don't think Rebirth was very good either.
I just think like it was just very
not the 90s,
very controversial.
Yeah,
like the New 52 is just like certain decisions I didn't like and stuff like that. I think the only story I probably liked was probably Batman with Greg Capullo with Court of Owls, but that's the only thing I liked in the New 52 because there was a lot of decisions I didn't like. The idea of Wonder Woman and Superman being a couple. That was so shit, and I hated the Wonder Woman comic. Like with her, the Amazon raping people. I didn't like how they changed the suit too. Like
this is what happened. This is what happened to DC around the 90s. DC was really kind of got into the trend in comics of being really over hypersexualized and all of that stuff, and they ruined their characters by doing that, especially with the drawings and artwork back then, like either totally buff, muscly, or like hypersexualized. 80s was a good period, and before then was, like, roughly speaking, a good period. Then in the early 2000s, DC did everything that they wanted New 52 to be. Like, they were making really good, smart, mature, somewhat dark comics like Kingdom Come and all of that kind of thing. And they'd already done it. They didn't need a reboot to the New 52. They'd done it. But what they did is they kept very true to the characters while making it dark. Then somebody came in and went, "Oh, you know what? This fucking Dark Knight is hitting hard. Let's make all our characters like dark and gritty." And it's like, wait a second, DC was already kind of dark and gritty. He didn't, but it was clever as well. It was like mature. I'd say dark and mature, right? So they could have Superman comics where he was really Superman and it kept to the essence of the character. And old fans of Superman loved it, plus new fans of Superman loved it. But then they went, you know what? Yeah, let's just make everything like, as I said, dark and gritty.
I forgot
and what
the guy's name.
is they made it dark, but they took away the maturity. So it then became, it's the New 52 felt like, you know, like it was aimed towards like teenagers or something like that, like really angsty.
I know the new guy that got in charge of DC. That was in the era. I think his name was.
Find it. Shit.
Oh, Dan. I think it was Dan.
And Didier.
Yeah.
Did
you hear like before we had Infinite Frontier? Like I like Rebirth and Infinite Frontier. I like Rebirth, but not everything. There's a lot of things I don't like about it. But the reason why I think he got fired is because his ideas were terrible. You know, when you were hearing about they were gonna do reboot and stuff like that before we got the Infinite Frontier, and the reason why he was fired is he wanted to kill off Superman, he wanted to kill off Batman, and he wanted to kill off those legends and replace them. And you were gonna have, you know, when you have Wonder Woman and everything like that, you have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. He had this idea that instead of Wonder Woman, you can have, like, you know, in the comics you have like alternate universes and stuff like that. You were gonna have a man that is Wonder Woman. That's a terrible idea. And you were gonna have like I guess like other characters that replace the legends. You should never replace the characters.
How do those people get jobs? I don't understand how. Did he do good comics at some point, or what made them think he was super qualified to like? Anyway, he got rid of Mark Waid. I think he got rid of Miller as well. Like, DC's so dumb. Like, all these great comic writers are now at Marvel, like Mark Waid.
The reason why
like Miller,
he stayed...
who did the Miller universe, who the guy who wrote Kick-Ass, who did Red Sun as well. The Spawn guy. So many great comic writers. They've
Spawn guys in DC Comics.
The guy who did Watchmen, you know, like
Watchmen.
Alan Moore, you know, it's like DC is just a mess, and yet it comes out somehow with the best stuff ever. Whether it's like the movies or comics, somehow I think because artists who work in that medium are so fascinated with characters like Batman and Superman, and, you know, to a certain degree Wonder Woman, to a certain degree Flash, you know, because they know they're these iconic characters. People are just drawn towards, you know.
Do you know why they kept
and not doing like these great movies, or great comic runs and potential movies?
I really like I think the reason why they kept him on so long is like he was the guy in charge making New 52. He was in charge of New 52, like the controversy and everything like that. Rebirth was good, but when he was talking about his plans after Rebirth, it was terrible. Everyone hated it. Even Jim Lee himself hated all the ideas that Dan DiDio was saying about the characters. He wanted to kill off Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and get them replaced and gender swap certain characters. Like, are you out of your mind? Like,
that's why I'm gonna use that.
That's why he was fired.
I'm gonna use Zach as an example. Marvel and DC needs to stop hiring people that literally want to do stuff like you guys said, killing off legacy characters and stuff just to do it for shock value or to be edgy or whatever. It's like every reboot DC should do. The legacy characters like Superman, they always gotta be there in whatever reboot's going to do. If they reboot Rebirth again, they still got to be there, but you can still add in new heroes and stuff, and eventually have other heroes move on. But you always got to keep reminding people who started it all.
Yeah, they're there.
Who started it all? Because notice with every reboot of DC so far, who's always at the head? The Justice
Batman,
League.
Superman, Wonder Woman.
That were Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Justice League. Though the main big dogs.
Like
even in Marvel. I'm giving Marvel for example, right? If the Marvel were to reboot in the comics, the main team always got to keep always Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Inhumans if you want, but they're like bootleg X-Men. You got to keep the big dogs always, all the time. You got to keep reminding future generations who the fuck these characters are.
Even if like the Justice League get come back in like at the end of Dark Crisis and stuff like that, but what they're temporary dead and everything like that. But even if they're dead, you're still reminded of those legacy characters. You have statues of those characters when they die and they come back. Like how much the Justice League has accomplished over the comic book years. Like you have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. What?
You know what you just said about the generations? I agree so much. And I think it was really profound because I used to argue. One of the reasons, I didn't tell you this, the reason I wrote the Wonder Woman screenplay in 2012 is because I watched an animated film and I'd never really thought about Wonder Woman before. I never really
the 2007 one.
It's like Superman, Batman, Hulk, X-Men, all of that kind of stuff. I never really was, not that I wasn't into her, I didn't know anything about her, right? So I watched this animated film and it's not the greatest film, but it's a good representation of her origin story. And I was like, holy fuck, Wonder Woman's origin story is as good as Superman and Batman's. It's not even like a kind of like, I'm just saying it's as good. It's literally equal. And so I kept getting into arguments with people online about you can't, a Wonder Woman film wouldn't work. Her they kept referring back to Linda Carter saying just it wouldn't work in this modern day. Just think about it with the lasso and the rope and her origin and how it is, because they couldn't see past the bad visual effects and whatever to the actual core of what the story is telling them. They just look at it visually, right? Until it's retold in their language, right? You have to retell these stories in every next generation's language so that they can understand it. Because when they look back at 78 Superman, they don't see what I saw, as a kid. And I remember it was really funny what Linda Carter's daughter said in DC.
He froze.
I thought it was me.
But
no,
wait.
Her daughter was like, I don't get Wonder Woman. Like her daughter just was always almost like a little bit embarrassed about her mom being Wonder Woman. And then she saw 2017 Wonder Woman and she was in tears and she said, I finally get it. I understand. Because even the daughter of, Linda Carter that show didn't translate for her because that wasn't her show. That wasn't her Wonder Woman. That wasn't her generation, even though it's her fucking mother, and that's how it goes to show how important it is to update these myths, right? Because they are eternal myths, but if they're couched in a way that visually a generation just doesn't understand, it's not gonna work for them. So anyway, that was my little spiel.
Oh no, I agree. That's why. Look for Spider-Man, right? Recent example. Spider-Man: Homecoming, right? When it came out, wasn't exactly an origin, but just a reintroduction to the character, kind of like the Batman. He's already established to an extent.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, right, while yes, you had the Andrew Garfield movies that came out so close to it, and it retold Spider-Man's origin in a way, added some stuff. But I still think even after Homecoming, after the next decade, or even the decade after, you need to reintroduce another Spider-Man origin in live action. Because
you do.
yes, people know about Spider-Man, but some people get lost in this stuff. They'll start to add in like, oh, but isn't his parents tied to his origin like this? No. It's just Peter Parker gets powers, his uncle gets shot, and
Well, his parents are
tied
tied to his origin sometimes, right? Like that is a part of the story.
at
Where,
times,
like,
not the original
it's
origin.
not the core. It's not necessary. I don't think.
Right. It's even though Amazing Spider-Man tried to involve that, that's type of stuff that can confuse people with Spider-Man's origin of how he's supposed to be introduced. Like, just imagine if the Joker kind of showed Bruce Wayne's origin, but it twisted it. It was Joker inspiring the riots that killed Bruce's parents.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Joe Chill, some regular average Joe on the
I
street.
think it was Joe Chill. I think to be fair, I still think
it can be Joe Chill.
Yeah.
But the thing about Batman's origin is that Joker isn't really a big part of it.
Yeah.
He's not attached to it. Not saying you can attach him to it,
I
but at some
agree
point
with
you got to eventually remind people. Just remind them at some point of Batman's origin again through some other movie. Doesn't be so close.
I agree with what you're saying, but for me, it's when new technology comes out. I think once a new type of technology comes out for visually telling stories, and that becomes the popular dominant thing, then you've got to redo the origin. You've got to start that from basic and give that generation there. I don't think you need to do another Batman origin or another Spider-Man origin until like there's a new tech out there. I think like CGI, like maybe it will be like, now you get to inhabit the movie or something like a virtual reality, or maybe it's like some new dope type of 3D that really kind of immerses you in the thing. I think once that happens, people are going to stop watching those older ones as much.
And when you and even I'm guilty of it too, right? So I will go back and watch Superman 78. I'll go back and watch it, but you wouldn't see me going back to watch movies that came out in like the 1920s and stuff, or the 30s. Right, that I have a cutoff limit of what I want to watch of the decade it's in. Superman 78, I'll definitely go back and rewatch that. And I understand of its time, its visual effects is not the best, but for that time, those visual effects was a masterpiece at that time.
Yeah,
it was shocking.
They
for
really
a lot of
were.
people. It was shocking.
They really were.
But more people are becoming, there's more people growing up in this age of like, video games. You got Fortnite,
Oh God.
IMAX, all these different ways of showing visuals. Avatar, Transformers. I don't blame people. They don't want to go back and watch some of these old movies because they don't look appealing. But people do have to understand this stuff came out at a certain time when they lacked the technology.
Yeah,
but it's like me, for instance. I'm like, look, sorry to tell you, on an artistic level, like Batman Returns is better than like
I seen the show.
of comic book movies today, and yet it's like it's devalued now, like Batman Returns. But that leads into a question: what did you think? I was about to ask you about this. What did you think of Joker?
I didn't have no issue with it, but see, I didn't have no issue with it. Right? It was a nice for me. I kind of liked it because it ties Joker closer to Batman in a sense, because they have this thing. They're like mortal enemies. Joker cannot live without the Batman, and Batman, in a weird sense, kind of cannot live without Joker. It's a weird fucking relationship. Even though Batman wants to stop crime, he wishes he can stop it, but it's as if like he needs Batman to keep moving forward. If he doesn't have Batman, I mean, what will he truly be?
I'm sorry.
So I liked that. I liked that origin in Batman 89. But then years later, we got Batman Begins, which kind of went back to the traditional origin. Like it still reminded people. I think you still do slight tweaks to the origins, but at some point you got to remind people of what these characters are and where they came from,
I was
like
not
the right way.
I was not a fan of it. I'm sorry. I hated
I
it.
liked it though. I liked the Joker one a lot more because it was Joker's riots inspiring people to go out and
and do that, and then they
tear
killed.
down
Yeah,
the
yeah,
rich.
that was
And they
clever.
kill the rich. I like that one a lot more better than the
Like
80s
it's not like
one.
I don't like the movie. I just don't like keep the origin as the same. I do not like when they change or make tweaks to the origin. I like even the
I mean, it depends how drastic it goes. It depends how drastic it is.
Even if even the screenwriter
Like Man of Steel.
Batman '89 didn't like the idea either. Like he told Tim Burton not to do it, but he did it anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he argued with Tim Burton.
But see, this is the thing, right? I don't think Tim Burton when he did it.
That's why I always say Superman 78 for me is the better origin of between those early Batman Superman origin stories. Superman 78 is like it's straight down the line, exactly what like those golden age Superman comics were, bro. Like
you didn't know the screenwriter argued with Tim Burton about the origin?
No.
No, you didn't. He basically said that you should not do this. He explained the reason why you should not connect Joker to Batman's origin that goes against like what Batman's
so
origin.
why do you think it goes against his origin?
And he did not like it. He tried arguing with him all week until like he didn't listen. So like Tim Burton did what he did, but he tried to respect the material. Like the screenwriter wanted to respect the material of the origin of Batman, but Tim Burton wanted to do his way, basically. The screenwriter.
I don't think it was awful. I prefer the Batman Begins route. I prefer that a lot more, but like I don't think it was awful. I think it worked for what Tim Burton was doing.
I didn't say it was awful.
Let me give an example. Let me give an example of some crazy ass Batman freaking origin, right? Crazy. Let's say, for example, instead of Bruce Wayne's parents dying, right? Instead of Bruce Wayne's parents dying, Bruce gets freaking molested by a criminal or something. And that's how he becomes Batman. Now you're taking it too far.
That's terrible.
That's why I say, all right, there's ideas you can have and ways you can twist things, but that's going too far. I don't want to see Bruce Wayne get molested as a kid to make him become Batman. I don't want to see that. You can do it, but that's off the cuffs. That's insane. That's crazy. I bet somebody would do that, but that's going too far off.
Like I still like the movie. I just don't like the origin. Like as a Batman fan, I just don't like them changing the origin. Just keep the original origin. Don't make it Joker or anything like that, and I'll be fine. Like
I don't agree with that. I mean, like I think that is the original origin in a sense. I know Joe Chill is the one who kills them, but I think with DC mythology, again, it is a lot about taking the essence and the core of the character and their mythology and then seeing somebody's version of that. And that's what we saw. We saw Tim Burton's version of core elements that make up Batman. So it was like his graphic novel, and I appreciate that. So I don't really give a shit that he took that liberty. Is it what I would do? No. But like you can either like it or dislike it, accept it or not accept it. But it's not an objective critique of the movie. It's not like saying, "Oh, that was a fucking plot hole" or something like that. It wasn't a plot hole. It wasn't a plot convenience. It wasn't anything like that. It was just not what the comics did. That's the only thing you can critique it for.
Yeah, like I still like the movie, but like that's just one of my nitpicks as a Batman fan.
But I think Batman Returns is way better, though. Just to let you know.
Batman what?
Batman Returns is like 150% better, in my opinion. Like
I like the suit. I like the suit better. Like it's just me, but I like the suit better in Batman Returns. Like the cowl. I didn't like in Batman '89. You know when you have the symbol, it had all those extra bats and stuff like that. And it's like I like you had the cowl in Batman Returns. It looks like it fits better. It's sleeker and everything like that. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the I like the story. I didn't mind it. Like,
real quick, Josh had a question for all of us. He said, if a character has the same powers as Superman, is it still considered a Superman ripoff? What's your guys' opinion? And he gave some examples of characters. Sentry, Hyperion, Blue Marvel, Omni-Man, Homelander, Apollo. I can even say Icon.
No, I don't agree with that.
No, I wouldn't say they're a Superman ripoff. If there would be a ripoff if they're like exactly the same. And let's say Marvel did Superman, right? They want to do their own version of Superman. And all they did was they just changed the color pattern of his suit.
I'll chat to you on the train. Anyway, I have to go because I have to catch my train. But I'll talk to you on the train. All right, peace.
I would say it's a ripoff if, let's say, for example, Stanley said,
I wouldn't say Sentry is a ripoff, but I do agree with Antonio. Hyperion is a tiny bit of a ripoff. It's kind of Marvel's version of Superman. It's like I do agree. Go to Antonio's. Like he does make a good point.
Let me look up this Hyperion dude. Oh, did you hear the rumors that Henry Cavill was supposed to play?
Yeah. It's just a bunch of bullshit. That's
okay. I got him here. So this is Hyperion. Let me bring it up. This guy right here.
Yeah, he basically has the same powers of Superman.
Trash symbol. He just has a radioactive symbol. Trash. He can never be Superman. He wishes. Superman's better, guys. Hyperion's trash.
Yeah.
I mean, well, okay, let me finish my point. I think a Superman ripoff is something like all let's say Marvel does a character with the exact same powers, and what they do is they flip the color pattern of Superman's suit. So the parts that are red is blue, and the parts that is blue is red. And go like, hey, this is our new original hero, Man Super. Enjoy it. That's a ripoff. That's like a straight up ripoff. That's basically taking someone's homework and just copying it. That is exactly what that is. And you at least change your name. At least make sure to put your name on your homework.
Omni-Man, I wouldn't say he's a Superman ripoff because like Superman is invulnerable and everything like that.
Omni-Man he can be, if you punch him hard enough, you can definitely hurt him, take his eyes out. And I would relate Omni-Man more to like the Saiyans from Dragon Ball Z because he literally does the same exact thing. They go to planets, conquer them, destroy them. Sometimes they sell off planets. This is like a whole freaking scheme where they literally take over planets, sell them to the highest bidders and stuff, and they do whatever they want with the planets and shit. So I relate them more to like the Saiyans from Dragon Ball Z. There's some Superman influence in Omni-Man, but there's also other influences within its character. That's not just Superman. And Homelander, I'll be honest with you, I like Homelander more than something like Injustice Superman. I think Homelander is a more interesting version of what if Superman became evil.
I'm not a big fan of Injustice. Like I play the games, the stories are fine, but I just never liked the idea. Like,
dude, do you think
the reason why I'm
real quick? Let me ask you, do you think Injustice really like affected the comic book climate when it came out?
It didn't do anything to the comic book climate. Like the comic books. Like I think after Injustice, people really did not like the idea of an evil Superman. So they did go back to the traditional Superman comic books after.
Oh, no, I'm talking. Well, I'm talking. Wait, not just comics. Like overall, let's say like movies, TV, how people perceive Superman and all this stuff. Do you think it affected a lot? Because I think it did. Because when Injustice came out, people were saying shit like, "Wow, Superman's cool now," and it's like, "Whoa." I was seeing that shit. Like when they finally introduced a evil Superman in a big way through a video game. Yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh man, Superman's so fucking badass now. He just fucking lasered Shazam's eyes and shit." Oh,
I think it did somewhat, but not at. Here's my perspective. Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, you had that small minority that it had an effect on them thinking that Superman's evil and stuff like that. But in the big scope of DC, of Superman the character, no matter if it's comic books, video games, animation, cartoons, movies, it didn't change people's perspective because they knew that wasn't really Superman. It was just an alternate version.
Right.
Because but they barely use they don't use evil Superman in comic books anymore anyway.
Yeah, the comics keep it relatively traditional. When I bring it up, you know, like stuff like, you know, even Zack Snyder tried to lead on with the idea. In the CW, they did an evil Superman shit and Supergirl.
But you still had the traditional Superman,
right? In the comic stuff, which in the comics.
No, in the CW, you still had the traditional Superman.
But they cut Superman and Lois saved that Superman, but that Superman they had in Supergirl, that was a cut. I can't believe they disrespected Superman like that.
No, I'm just saying you still had Superman in there going against evil Superman.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
They were still doing an evil. They was like still doing this trope of an evil Superman thing because Injustice got popular around that time.
Yeah.
And, you know, Zack Snyder was kind of building to a arc where Superman becomes evil and loses his ways and he becomes an enemy of the world.
I don't think Injustice is as popular as it was now.
I think it still is. I think it still has a not super duper popular, but the first game is the best game. Let me make it. The first game is the best game. The issue with the second game, those suit designs. Yes, you make different suits, but like a lot of the suit design, especially Batman's suit, that was hideous. That Batman.
I like the last suit was fine.
What's up, kiddos?
I didn't even like it. I didn't even like his Injustice Gods Among Us. So I thought that suit was ugly too.
No, I'm talking about the you know when Batman and Superman are going off, that the new Batman suit's better than the one that you see in Injustice 2.
The Injustice suits are just trash in general. But
nah, I don't know.
What the? Wait, can y'all hear me?
Hatred. Yeah, we can hear you. Hatred, Josh. Hatred. I like Injustice 1 is better to me, but two's a good sequel, but Injustice 1 is better because for me, Harley Quinn was my main, right? Yeah. And in Injustice 2, they made her a lot slower. Her combat was,
harder
to it. It was a lot more. It wasn't that it was complicated. She just fought a lot slower. And in Injustice Gods Among Us, Harley Quinn was my main. I was kicking everybody's ass with fucking Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
but you got nerfed hard.
I tried Harley Quinn. It's just I didn't like. Yeah, it's basically more like you have Civil War, Injustice, basically the Civil War kind of version of DC.
Yeah, Kingdom Come, Marvel, Civil War.
Yeah, but
Injustice wasn't bad. I didn't think it was bad at all. I just think it did heavily affect the climate from 2010 to 2020 of how Superman was perceived to a lot of people.
How like the normies like perceive Superman.
Right. Because when they started, it was like, damn, Superman's badass. What the fuck? He's over here being a savage. Oh, yes, I agree. He was a savage. He was doing some savage shit.
Oh, God.
But it also almost hurt Superman in a sense because we got a whole decade of outside of the comics evil Superman stuff. like trying to be
Brightburn. Yeah, the amount of times I've seen evil Superman. Yeah, evil Superman from Injustice, Homelander, like Brightburn, freaking Icarus from Eternals. Like, can we please just put that to rest, bro? Like, we had that for like almost a decade. Just let it go, or just like take a break from it for a little while.
Yeah, definitely. We need a break from it.
Oh,
even
God.
Lois first season hinted, even though I like Superman Lois first season, they hinted at a evil. They was doing an evil Superman type of thing, but Superman didn't become evil. But there was a whole story based around John Steel coming to Superman's Earth, trying to kill Superman because he does something evil on his Earth.
Yeah, I think on John Henry Hines' Earth, they like made like a comic, a Superman and Lois comic that was based on the evil Superman like storyline in that universe.
Yeah,
but it's a comic of like, would have preferred they actually showed it on screen. Like, God damn it. So, did you hear the news about like Jonathan Kent getting recasted?
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, bro.
I liked him. I'm kind of sad that he's leaving.
I think MSK went over this in his stream and stuff like that. Reading the article, I don't think it was any. I don't think it had to do with anything with mental health, because what MSK was reading had to do with the vaccine.
Yeah, and look, hey, if you didn't want to get vaccinated or whatever, I don't care. I'm gonna miss him. He's not going around like promoting false information about the vaccines and stuff. So, it's his opinion. I'm fully vaccinated. I'm not scared to take that shit. But
I have to be.
I didn't even take the vaccine yet.
Yeah, I have to take it to go to college.
Oh God, bro! If I had to take the vaccine and go to college, bro, Jesus Christ, God damn it! You know what? Bro, I gotta go to college like in 2 weeks, bro. I haven't even taken the vaccine yet. Jesus Christ.
They don't need to know. Just you can get those forged cars and shit. Get the fake stamps on it. Dude, there's a lot of people I know that was getting fake vaccination cards forged and created so they can go inside places and stuff. It was the funniest shit ever.
Well, I think I might do that.
But you didn't hear it here on this stream, guys. Yeah, you didn't hear that from me.
Here's the thing with vaccinations, or getting vaccine. Like, it's fine that you don't have to get the vaccine, but at the same time, people have to understand this is the new norm of the world, and a lot of jobs fire you for not getting the vaccine. If you don't get vaccinated, you're not working. That's also the issue too. Like, you can not get the vaccine, but in the expense, you won't have a job. So is it really worth it? Is it really worth it not getting the vaccine? Like just because of your own morals or anything like that? It's like you do have to pay for wherever you're living. You need money.
That's true.
Look, this is why I say, right. Anybody can have whatever opinions they want on the vaccination situation. Like, I totally respect each side's opinions. I don't respect misinformation on both sides. That's one thing I don't respect. But the thing about it is, in society, and it depends where you live, especially in America.
Yeah, America.
We've been ever since I was a kid. I've been getting injected full of stuff, especially the.
Me too.
What's one we have to get everyone gets every single year?
Flu shot.
The flu shot. Get that shit every
shot.
Year. Well, it's a vaccine of sorts and stuff, The reason I wasn't scared of it is because I'm already pumping this stuff in my body. It hasn't done anything drastic to me. I haven't turned into a mutant yet or whatever. But I haven't got my powers yet from these shots. But I'm not afraid
to fucking juggernaut.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to take the vaccine and stuff, because hey.
We're gonna be taking the COVID vaccine every year now.
Bro, I literally just took I literally just had my blood taken out like a couple weeks ago. I'm not scared of no vaccine. Fuck that.
I have to get the most.
But it's kind of true. Like, this is the same thing. Remember when we had the flu the flu virus and everything like that, and like a lot of things got worse with the country, and they eventually developed the vaccine. It's the same thing with the COVID, where you do have the vaccine and you have to take it every year. Like you gotta take it next year.
That's true.
Where I don't think this is ever gonna go away. To be honest, China screwed us.
It's
It's
going to be minimized, going to dwindle down. It's like many diseases in many countries. Like this is why other countries, Asia, Africa, and all of them they're used to this type of shit. They're used to these constant diseases and stuff popping up. We don't in America. The last big pandemic we had, if I remember, I think it was polio. It was polio, and I was like. That was back in the 60s and 50s and stuff.
But at the end of the day, like, we're gonna get a new Jonathan Kent, and like, I'm happy what we saw him as. Like, no matter what his decision is and everything like that.
Was you hearing about some of the casting choices people wanted? I think they was wild.
I don't know,
bro. I didn't see any casting choices for.
Yeah,
so there wasn't choices, but people. Now that Jonathan Kent, and look, let me make this clear. I have no issue with Jonathan Kent being bi in the comics. I made a video defending that.
Yeah.
But people want to get an LGBTQ actor to play a character in this version who's not LGBTQ and turn the character LGBTQ out of nowhere. Now, I'm not saying Jonathan Kent cannot be LGBTQ in the future, but this adaptation is not. And it would be very drastic to do that randomly for his third season, like all and mind you, people still exploring their sexualities and stuff. He's young, he might fall in love with dudes, but just too random.
But the story behind that is like,
but
it's very far down the line. Like Jonathan Kent, before he came back, he was in the Legion of Superheroes. He was in the future and everything like that. And then when he came back to Earth, he came back to Earth. That was the lead-in of finding his own sexuality in the comic books, what he likes and everything like that. Because he's.
But you gotta remember from that story, the writer who did that expedited and like literally grew John up so quick, just to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he fast forwarded so much of his development, and I think Damian Wayne is he still like a kid and stuff, right?
No, he's not.
Or did he age up to where is he? How old is he now?
It's a time jump. It wasn't rushed. It was a time jump.
So this is the thing with that, right? They was doing the Super Sons.
What the hell is that noise?
Oh my bad! I was just scratching my eye.
What the fuck?
But remember, they was doing Super Sons. Right?
Yeah.
How long did Super Sons last?
Super Sons, it didn't. I think 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, they kind of just expedited it to get to this.
Like I like Super Sons, but here's the thing: you have to eventually have them grow up, and like you can't have them as kids forever. That's my point of view. The reason why.
You have to have them as kids forever,
The reason why I defend this decision, people can hate it all they want, but like, I like the adventures when they were kids and everything like that. But like, eventually, you have to have them grow up and become their own heroes. And I think in Infinite Frontier, they do a good job of establishing their own hero. Jonathan Kent is finding his own way. Like he doesn't want to be like his father. Like he wants to be like he wants to see, because his father went away and to deal with World War, with Mongol and everything like that, and Jonathan Kent is finding his own identity, same as Damian Wayne. Like throughout, the reason why he left Batman is because he wants to find his own identity, or like who he is and like what kind of person he wants to become. that's why like you have like the Robin storyline where he goes to Lazarus Island to find himself and everything like that. And so like I think the Son of Kal-El is a storyline of progression of the character finding himself and what he wants to stand for. Because you don't want to stand for just like your father. You have to become your own hero.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. That's why that's the reason why Damian Wayne left Batman, is because he was always in Batman's shadow. Damian Wayne wanted to be his own hero.
He's Dick Grayson now. No, but I feel it. I understand.
They changed up the character story with Damian Wayne. Like he's not hated anymore, because like in his own Robin storyline, I actually like him a little more, because he.
I mean, I can personally understand why Damian would want to get out, because you have to people forget Damian Wayne didn't grow up like a normal kid. Like he matured. He's not fully mature, like as far as age, but mentally he's far up there compared to other kids. So he had to grow up training with Ra's al Ghul and the League of Assassins a lot faster, which is going to mature him. He's going to want to, just like a grown person, get out of his father's shadow. I can totally understand that. He's thinking like an adult, thinking like a grown man. So, I totally understand why Damian wouldn't do that. Peace out, Josh.
Do you before you end it, because you said 10 more minutes, do you
Yes.
want to watch how Red Hood's skill tree works? They just put a video on IGN.
I already watched it.
How about we watch it together? Like I want.
Well, which one? They put up another one?
Yeah, another one.
Is it the one on? We'll bring it up.
It just came out 10 seconds ago.
Oh.
Just search IGN and it comes up on the channel.
Oh, so this is okay. So this is the one I saw. I watched his recent gameplay video. Pretty good. He might not be my main that I want.
Yeah, like people have to understand he's not a brawler. He's not like this.
Yeah,
this is a character this character is like a long range character, like a marksman.
Yes.
Like he's not gonna be like the rest of the characters that are hand to hand combat.
This thing, I don't know why people cannot understand that. Like literally, his gimmick is freaking guns. He's like the Winter Soldier when they brought back the Winter Soldier. Their gimmick is fucking guns. They're literally anti-heroes. Like these are characters who fight for range. They use guns. People are complaining about, oh, why isn't he punching more? Like, I can understand, but his whole gimmick is fucking guns.
I know.
That's the thing. Like you I'm sorry, but you can't do Red Hood without guns. You can, but it's like it's going to take away the gimmick.
Here's the thing. I tried, like, I talk about this argument with someone, but like, I explained this is a video game. These are their own adaptations. You don't have to agree with their adaptations, but like getting upset just because he's not hand-to-hand combat. His gimmick is really guns. Yes. I know he fights like Batman. He has that fighting skill, but his main focus is always using guns.
Right. And when they brought back Red Hood in the comics, what was the biggest thing that people caught intrigue of? Oh my gosh, one of Batman's Robins is coming back and using a thing that Batman doesn't like to fight crime. Oh my gosh. Like he was a badass anti-hero. He's an anti-hero for a reason.
Yeah.
The anti-heroes don't have the same morals as our heroes. Now this Red Hood is toning himself, he's holding himself back, he's using rubber bullets and stuff, but that's because he's associated with the Bat family once again. So he's kind of playing by the rules, but still wanting to do it his own way.
Okay, you put
trying to fill the void left by a murdered Batman. The developers don't want you to feel like you're creating 4 successors. They want you to find a favorite and turn them into a single new Dark Knight.
We always understood that there had to be a sense by the end of the story and by the end of your...
Wait, real quick, since they said that, real quick. All right, Ark, I'm predicting it now. When the game ends, whichever character you upgrade the most will become the new Batman.
I don't think that's probably good.
Imagine if it was. You fully upgrade Batgirl. And you guys, you know what? I'm stripping away this and I'm going to become Batman.
I think this is my speculation, but I think at the end of the game, this is what I think. I don't think it would be Nightwing, Batgirl, or Red Hood. Those are out of the equations. I think you'll probably find Batman and bring him back.
Yeah, I have a feeling Batman's not going to be dead.
Yeah, like,
because this is a concept playing off the Arkham Knight ending, even though it's in a different universe. And we know in that ending, Batman didn't kill himself. We know he faked his death.
Yeah,
he didn't kill himself. He's not going to blow up. He's not going to ask Alfred to commit suicide, and that's stupid. Bruce isn't a dick like that. They faked their deaths and they went somewhere, you know. I don't know where they went, but they faked their deaths. They did not kill themselves.
No, this is based on the Court of Owls story, so he's captured by the Court of Owls.
Right.
So
which is more than likely what it is. Batman being captured.
So I wouldn't be surprised that you have to bring back Batman. So like I feel like at the end of the game, you probably have to you have Batman back, but I think the final boss battle you probably have to fight two characters. Yes, you'll have to defeat the Talon, but you also have to save Batman. I think Batman's the Talon.
Talon mind control. I can see it.
Yeah, because like in the maze and everything like that, they have toxin and everything like that make you hallucinate and everything like that.
All right, let me get back to playing this video so we can finish it up. After this video, guys, we're going to end the stream because I got to get some sleep and I got to go see a movie later.
What movie?
In order to
Dragon Ball Super Superhero.
Symbol. This is someone who I believe can fill the vacuum Batman has left behind. So that's such an essential aspect of the fantasy that we felt like there needed to be a moment where that was reflected in the ability tree, where it was reflected in the RPG foundations of the game.
With that overall philosophy in mind, a game mechanic that has you constantly changing and experimenting with new techniques feels apt. Gotham Knights offers a lot of options in that regard, from new superhero suits to ability-changing gear, but it doesn't make that idea clearer than in its skill trees.
The main abilities that you see on the
You do have Brawler. Look, you do have Brawler.
After you've earned ability points, and that's something that's a natural function of leveling up in the sort of standard RPG way. You get XP, you level up, you get some ability points, and there's dependencies and prerequisites like you would normally see in an action RPG. But that is the gating mechanism for those abilities. You're spending points, you're deciding where you want to spend them.
Of course, with 4 different heroes, you're likely to want to experiment, and the game accounts for that without feeling like you're leaving anyone behind while not playing with them.
Obviously, we're a multi-protagonist game, and we expect that a lot of players are going to kind of identify fairly quickly that, okay, I like this hero, this character matches my style of play, I'm invested in their progression and their evolution, I want to play that character for a long time. That said, there's 3 other heroes that you may decide at some point it would be interesting for you to try, and that you want to be able to jump into playing without feeling like you're being penalized or need to go back and redo a whole bunch of work in order to kind of get them advanced. So then what happens is, if you decide to switch characters, basically
I'm love this open world traversal.
Surplus of ability points.
Yeah.
So then you would spend. You'll sit there, you'll allocate them. You can look at the whole ability tree. You can decide what you want to have access to.
The skill trees themselves are made up of a mix of ability or stat changing upgrades.
Yeah. You see, this is for Red Hood. You see Marksman, Brawler, Vengeance, and Knighthood. So you can make him as a fighter.
Yeah, that's what I literally figured they would. That's why I say people forget this game has a skill tree like the Arkham games, where even Batman's fighting got faster the more you upgrade it. You can now build a faster kill streak. You can do combos. You hit the Y and B button or triangle circle button on whatever console you're playing. You can do a takedown. You get a new gadget. You can combine a gadget with your attack.
I feel like people forgotten how games work because like
people totally like act like skill trees don't exist.
Yeah, because like right now Red Hood is just a shooter and everything like that. But when you upgrade, if you can upgrade Brawler, he can go to hand fighting. He can, and the more upgrades you do, the more stuff you unlock, and the more advanced your character will become. So, say if I want to make my Red Hood a Brawler, I would go in the Brawler section and unlock with my skill points, unlock those abilities that I can go hand-to-hand fighting, like similar to Nightwing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people overreact a lot of times on Twitter. It's kind of true. Like, people like won't wait until the game comes out or more information comes out, and then when this comes out, they'll look like a fool.
Yeah, it's just nerds. Like, it's people making themselves getting mad just to get mad because they're probably bored as hell and don't have nothing to be mad about. You have to nitpick the shit out of something that's possibly going to be good. You get to play as all the fucking sidekicks of Batman in one game. Like, come on now.
Yeah, it comes this year. It was it got that gold thing or something like that. Like, it says it was rewarded gold. What that means is it's locked for this year to come in October, so you can't delay anymore.
Right. Yeah, this is pretty much ready for play.
Yeah, and they have like, I can't wait until I get that statue again in October. Maybe I'll show you a picture when I get it in October.
Got it. Let me know what it looks like when you get it.
You can play it now.
Nightwing can build on his acrobatics, but can also offer massive buffs for co-op play. Robin can improve on his preternatural talents for stealth, but he could equally work on tech that helps provide decoys or enhance elemental effects. And in this footage, we're showing off all of Red Hood's trees in their totality.
So the marksman tree is kind of self-explanatory. It's really about dealing more damage at range. That skill tree focuses mostly on damage per second and rewards for shooting and rewards for taking the time to use precision aim. The brawler skill tree is about melee combat, but more importantly, it's about powering up the fact that Red Hood is our largest character, and he's got the best grab and throw mechanics in Gotham Knights. That's a really, sort of brutal hand-to-hand focused skill tree. So if you're into that style of play, it's a great place to invest early to get the most out of Red Hood. The Vengeance tree is essentially reflecting Red Hood's rage in different ways. He can be an intimidating character. It's sort of about leveraging parts of his personality and embodying them as abilities that allows him to be more frightening and to deal more damage against certain types of enemies that he is truly angry inside about.
Now, you may have noticed that there's a fourth tree on that list, Knighthood. Perhaps the most interesting of all the ability options, Knighthood is available for every character and represents a moment of self-actualization where your hero has worked out how they can become their own Dark Knight, rather than just a new Batman. Knighthood will begin to unlock after a specific point in the story, but every character will have to complete a set of unique challenges to begin earning.
Yeah, I'm ready to play this now.
Unlocking the Knighthood tree gives you a couple of things. It unlocks the heroic traversal for that hero. So if you're Batgirl, suddenly you can glide. It unlocks your ultimate ability for Batgirl Less Than Grown. And it unlocks the Knighthood ability tree where you can start to add additional, very powerful mechanics to your hero that are otherwise not available to you until that point in the story.
I knew it.
Character, you don't need to go and do the story beat again for the other heroes in order to gain access to that progression. But you'll need to go out and do the challenges for that hero that are associated with these additional abilities.
Knighthood is a truly interesting combination of narrative and mechanic, a way of using traditional RPG ideas to help tell the story of Gotham Knights' budding heroes.
So literally, there is a moment where it's possible for you to kind of have this epiphany with your character, right? It can be the moment that Robin suddenly, he's like staring at the Batman shrine, the Belfry, and he's like looking at the gauntlet, thinking about the technology, how Batman used it, because he's like the most recent member of that team, and Robin's thinking to himself, wait a minute, Batman wasn't just what was in the Batcave or just what he had on his person. It was also his relationship and his connection to the bigger universe of these superheroes, right? The Justice League satellite. So that's kind of the moment where you're like, wait, I can tap into that. I can absolutely tap into that. And if I use it this way, it's going to open up a set of abilities and some ways of fighting crime. And so that first moment is what opens up his heroic traversal. That's where he goes, I can do short-range teleportation. So, these are the kinds of sort of thematic links that we tried to create with the Knighthood branch.
What's up,
And
Danny?
alongside all of these skill trees is another
We gotta be
menu
closing
of
up after this,
unlockables,
Danny, but what's
momentum
up?
abilities. These amount to special attacks that can be assigned to specific button combos. Many of the momentum abilities tie into the skill trees, but they're earned differently.
In the case of the momentum abilities, you're getting those by engaging in challenges in the world. When you look at the momentum ability breakdown, in order to unlock that, I need to do the following 4 or 5 things.
The most amount of synergy between abilities in different trees actually happens between the momentum abilities tab and the rest of the trees. For example, Batgirl's Beatdown is a momentum ability, but can be powered up by other abilities in her tree.
I've got some
allow her
badass
to
suits in this game.
Do it more effectively and with piercing damage, which the ability doesn't usually have at the start.
I like
The developer's
Red
goals
Hood,
with all of these trees
I
is
like
just
a lot of suits.
RPG mechanics to an action game, but to provide a legitimate sense that your heroes are growing, learning, and changing throughout the course of Gotham Knight's story. As a player, you're being asked to help create your own versions of those heroes, and the team doesn't want you to simply be able to fill out an entire skill tree on your first playthrough, encouraging you instead to pick and choose carefully.
If you're playing through Gotham Knights in a regular way, so I'm going after all of the main story arcs and I'm fighting the villain arcs, I will have unlocked most but not all of the skill tree. So your choices are always going to matter at least as far as what it takes for you to beat the story. I think players will and probably should mix and match to get the best out of the abilities in Gotham Knights. We know that players will choose ability clusters as we've arrange them in the trees because they are excited about an individual ability. But there is a lot of synergy between trees, and also you kind of have to experiment to find out what you really like. So I do expect that players will mix and match quite a lot.
If you want to know more about Gotham Knights, we have got tons for you in this month's IGN First campaign, including the first 16 minutes of gameplay and how Gotham was built as a brand new city with 400 years of history.
Dope.
That was cool. But I knew it because when they got to the last section, that's when you get the abilities of gliding, that jumping mechanic with Red Hood and everything like that. So I knew it wasn't it's an option. You can unlock it or you don't. You can use the ability or you don't. So
There's no choice.
But
more likely you're gonna have to unlock them if you wanna, especially you wanna get your look. I don't see why nobody wouldn't want to have the mystical ability to traverse the buildings a lot faster. I would want that. If you're gonna want to get better, get faster, become a better fighter. It's the point. Unless you want to stay stagnant with one skill, which you cannot beat the game with. You kind of gotta unlock them if you want to keep progressing, but it's not going to be locked behind no paywalls and stuff. It's going to be the normal way you should game.
And with Duke, Signal, I don't think they should have put him in. I don't think they should put him in this. You can have those characters as DLCs, but as main characters, you always should focus on Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, Jason Todd, and Tim Drake, the 4 Bat family members that started everything. Duke Signal did not start the Bat family. He he's a new character that was introduced far down the line. Same thing with Cassandra Cain, Stephanie Brown, what's it called? Damian Wayne. Like those characters are not. They didn't start everything, so it makes sense why you have Dick Grayson. You have Tim Drake, you have Barbara Gordon, and you have Jason Todd. Is because those are the members that started the Bat Family.
Yep.
So it wouldn't make any sense to have Duke in part of that.
You guys, I gotta get ready to head up out of here. But Arkham, any final thoughts you wanted to give overall?
Yeah, I'm excited for the game. Like for me, like I wait until I see the final. As a game designer, like because I work on games in school and stuff like that, I understand what pre-alpha builds and everything when you're in early stages of games. And right. I've seen a lot of people overreact. Like I was like the one person that never overreacted because I knew this is a process of games when you get the final product out. So like I'm excited for this game because it looks good. It's different than the Arkham games, and it should be. And I'm happy. And I'm excited to play all the characters. My mains are probably gonna be Dick Grayson, Nightwing. I'll probably do Red Hood, Barbara, Batgirl, then Tim Drake. I'll probably play all of them because like I want to see what each of their skill trees are like, and play, and each of them will probably have their own unique missions and everything like that. Yeah. Duke Thomas could be DLC. I'm just saying not as a main character.
Yeah, they're probably gonna add Cassandra Cain. Who's the other girl? Who's the other bad girl?
Cassandra Cain.
Stephanie Brown.
Yeah, Stephanie Brown.
Might add her as DLC. The one in the black suit. The black dude. The black Batman.
That's Duke Thomas. Signal.
No. The one with the black suit, blue.
The blue one. That's Batwing.
Yeah, Batwing. Him. He might be DLC in the future, but I don't think they might do an expansion, like Seasons of Infamy expansion, like they did for Arkham Knight, and you kind of play as them as like more linear roles, and you can free roam as them. But I don't think there's gonna be, because that's probably almost a totally different game you'd have to create, or a sequel where they can be part of it. But I think put like in this game.
This is what I think they'll do for the sequel. They'll probably have Batman back as playable. They'll probably do that. Like this is like back at because Batman's they're not gonna kill off Batman main universe. It's gonna be connected and stuff like that to the new universe they're creating. I would assume like if they're doing it, you have Batman. I can see like Cassandra Cain, Batwing, Signal, and probably Stephanie Brown. Like they could introduce new characters, like new Bat Family characters, and you'll probably still have roles of the previous characters that were in the first game that like you stay in contact and stuff like that. Like I feel like the second game is going to be even bigger.
I agree.
And it's gonna be interesting what story they're gonna do because like Court of Owls is like a big story.
League of Assassins.
They could do that.
Probably add like another type of cult aspect, or go back to something basic. Trying to stop the mob bosses around Gotham, Two-Face, Penguin.
Yeah. Have you been reading Deceased?
No, I haven't even read it yet.
You have to read it. It's like the basic story is where
that's the DC zombie story, right?
Yeah, it's where Darkseid gets his anti-life equation and everything like that on Earth in
Yeah.
DC, and he uses that through Cyborg, and it turned that turned a virus and turned people into zombies. So Darkseid won. Yeah, think about it. Technically, Darkseid won, and he got his anti-life equation and everything like that through Cyborg, and it turned people into zombies.
So are they like Darkseid minions, or it backfired on Darkseid? And everybody's just zombies. Like, did it
Not everyone's at zombies. Not everyone's zombies. There are some few survivors.
Okay. But I mean, Darkseid controlling the zombies, or he got the anti-life, he took over people, but what he did backfired on him?
I think it backfired on him or something like that.
Okay.
But like I suggest reading it. And I suggest because you're probably gonna like Damian Wayne a little more. Because like he's a big part of this too. Because he's Batman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I suggest you read Deceased and pick up the second comic and then the new one, because like if you want to read the new one, it explains a lot of things, and it's pretty damn good. Like it's an Elseworld story. It's not in the main continuity, but it's from Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor does a lot of good stories. I like his Nightwing run. I like his Son of Kal-El run, and this is good as well. So I suggest reading it because it's very good. It's some total recommendation. Like just go on Amazon, search Deceased, DC Zeast, and you'll have two books that you probably have to order before you read the new one.
Got it. I'm gonna check it out. I'm adding it to the list.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. Well, have you finished reading Crisis, Infinity Crisis?
No, I'm going in order. So I'm finishing up my Superman Golden Age first. I'm gonna jump to my Spider-Man, do Ego, and then I'm gonna get to Crisis on Infinite Earths and then Infinity Crisis.
You're gonna enjoy Batman Ego. Batman Ego is pretty good.
But yeah, I'm reading them one at a time. I want to read two at a time, and then I get, I want to do it in an order.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, that's the stream. Later, I'm going to watch the Dragon Ball Super movie. You may not get a review today. I'm more than likely not. Tomorrow, yes, you are going to get a review. Solo dedicated video is going to be coming. But I got to get some rest so I can go watch this movie later. Thank you all for watching. Shouts out to Arkham and Nerdman and even Josh for coming on to the stream. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the people in the chat. Thank you for watching, sticking by me, supporting till this day. We're about to head up out of here. Check out Arkham Gaming. We're gonna have some content for you coming for you guys. Be on the lookout. Deuces, everybody.